y'all. Welcome back to the Wenzilla Reboot. I am Wenzilla. Thank you for stopping in. Today, I have a special. This is a special video. It's a little bit long. It's me just chatting it up with Greg Cook. I always want to bring people on who I want to share their thing, their platform, and help out in any way. I just want to surround myself with good people, and I want to push their thing. What's really unique to me. So Greg is unique to me. He's, I've been following him for a couple of years now. And I've seen him grow so much, like just his channel, and every single video he does is different. If he does I think he does 2 lives a week, and he does like 2 to 3 videos a week outside of his lives, and they are just really cool to me. I always pick up some type of tip, some type of something, but he has everything from 1:1 scale all the way down to 6" 1/12 scale. So it's hot toys, Legos, Matchbox. He talks about everything. He looks at every single toy. He's really good at toy reviews, toy hunts, and now customizing. And without further ado, let's jump into it. The not so much interview, but just chatting it up with Greg Cook. And make sure you guys, everything will be down in the description to go check him out on his Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. So please do so. It'd be really cool just if, a lot of the people who are here watching this on this channel would go over and show love over there. Just be like, Wenzilla sent me, something like that on his latest video. And just hashtag it, be like, Wenzilla sent me. And then, I'm stealing that from him. But anyway, I think it'd be really cool. And we're going to work on stuff, coming up in the future. So just some fun stuff. So please give this a watch. And if you're not into it, just turn it on maybe while you're cleaning or while you're doing something. Just have us in your ear. So thank you. And here we go. Greg Cook. And I had my Greg Cook shirt, but it's a medium. So
hey, we got matching hats though. They're red hats.
Right, mine's Marvel, man. Captain Marvel.
Oh, hey, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that.
I got $5. So
that's even better, man. $5 is the only way to go. I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm not no YouTube guru, and I don't know all about the algorithms and how people think. But at some point in time, I've always felt that you will meet people that watch you.
Yeah,
and for me personally, it is so easy to spot somebody that is not genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you meet them in person. And again, it's just one of those things where when I do my videos, this is what you get. I mean, it's I think
that's what brings me. That's what brought me in, because I was doing pops for like a second, and a couple months. I had like over 200 Star Wars pops, and I was like, there's gotta be some cool pop guys out there. And I saw one guy who you've actually met. I won't bring up his name, but I saw he really pushed this thing for himself. Right. He was this certain thing, but you can tell he was pushing that agenda to be that, because nobody was that. And then now I saw your stuff, and I was like, I like this guy a lot. I sat there the one day when you're in your bathroom for 2 hours live watching the thing drip, and I was just like I was so content, dude. I was like, this is great.
I mean, YouTube is, and that's the thing with your stuff, because I follow your YouTube channel. I'm sub to you, and I got all the notifications turned on. I follow you on Instagram. I just got through watching your charcoal wash, and I'm like, holy butt crackers, that is so cool, because I have mad respect for your skills. You, my friend, are up here. I
appreciate it, man. Thank you. No, that means a lot, man, because you look at a lot of toys. So,
well, and I'm not saying this to BS you or nothing, but honestly, you were one of the people that actually got me into wanting to start customizing action figures.
And then you killed it when you did the gorilla guy.
Oh, my Cygor.
Yeah, dude. And you the way you described it, I learned things from that video. You know what I mean? We can all pick things up from each other. And that's what I want to do with my platform is it's not bigger than a lot of people. I don't have 1,500 people on YouTube, but it's bigger than someone with 200. And if they can come on and reach out to people, and even you have more on YouTube than I do, but your Instagram is lower. So if it could build your Instagram, then let's do that. Let's push, you know what I mean? Like help out the people who are like unique to me, but are genuine. Like they're not like the same person that you see on camera is the same person that I am in person. I can tell that with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just all natural. Like sometimes we have to do like our catchphrases or like make sure to like and subscribe. You know, like
you know.
yeah. And yours is toys are cleanse the soul, I think. Something
toys refresh your soul.
Yes. And I tried saying it on my last video. So it's gonna be up before this one. But yeah, this should be up on Saturday, I'm thinking. So I just did I'll show you this well, I was doing extreme sets too, man.
Oh, I love extreme sets. I've got so many of those.
If you put extreme sets in YouTube, guess who pops up? You pop up, and I'm like, what? Like
those things I tell people all the time because number one, I follow some really insanely talented diorama builders on Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, we're talking international light and magic model making talent.
Yeah.
There's one girl, her name's Vanessa. She lives in Italy. Does not speak any English on her Instagram channel. But it does not matter because what she creates is beyond movie.
Some of them are working with Hasbro and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, the display dioramas from blah blah blah," and you'll see it on like a Hasbro picture,
right?
You know, like one of my good friends, Chevy Two, who on Instagram, he does a lot of Star Wars. He was doing stuff with Hasbro too, and it's just like really cool that someone they could pick out, and then they like send him a wave early. And I'm like, send me whatever wave you want. I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it.
Like, exactly. But see, that's the beauty, I think, with extreme sets, because the very first one I got was the Deranged Alley.
Ooh, was it 3 3/4 or 1/12?
6 inch.
Okay, cool.
Because I do not collect 3 3/4. I have
really?
3 3/4.
I figure you'd be like all vintage collection and Joe's and wow. No, I didn't know that.
6 inch to me is like I don't know, it's almost like the holy grail of perfection when it comes to customization, photography, everything. The 6 inch is just a really good scale.
Yeah.
3 3/4 has came a long way though. Those things are getting so detailed, but what I have found is when you start doing the faces and things like that, sometimes it gets lost in translation with the photography.
Yep.
It's small. Let's be real.
That's why I like it, because I don't have to be perfect on to the head paints, like painting the face. I don't have to be perfect because it's so, like you said, it's just kind of a face. It's not, you can't really tell whose face it is,
But there is so much that, when it comes to, I don't know, man. I mean, my spectrum is so across the freaking board. I mean, it's insane. I mean, the toys and dioramas.
That scares me though, like for my stuff, because I feel like people like they won't want to see that. But then I watch you, who is doing props, 1-in-1 scale stuff. You're doing what you want to do. And I'm like, I can do that too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to be Power Rangers or Star Wars Black Series. Like, I can go anywhere. Like, you did a Hot Toy, for instance, and I watched that. Like,
we got Rex and She-Hulk. I mean, come on. And that's what I try to tell people is I love crossing canons. I love crossing Marvel DC. I mean, dude, Trooper Pool.
There you go.
I mean,
that's why we like each other, man. That's it.
I got this idea from a dude on Instagram. He's called Trooper Dude, I think. He goes around, he goes vacation, and he always has a trooper helmet on, but he's got his regular clothes, and he always takes selfies in front of like monuments and stuff, vacation spots. I saw that. I saw that's just so flipping cool right there, because no one knows who he is.
Yeah.
And so I was working on a custom that I definitely want your opinion on. And So the new line of the Troopers came out, and they actually had the clone blank head sculpt.
Yeah.
Well, this is the helmet off one of them that I just heated up and took off, and I just thought, well, I wonder if that'll fit Deadpool's head. So I just stuck it on Deadpool. Now he's Trooper Pool. I mean, why not? I can see Deadpool. Can you not see Ryan Reynolds smacking a stormtrooper in the head, taking his helmet, putting it on?
I could see them doing like a dance off, like a twerking. And then he takes the helmet. Yeah.
I mean, it's the ground. And that's the thing I think a lot of people get hung up on is it's okay to let's be like Ghostbusters, cross the streams, it's okay.
Yeah, I think like that's why I like with the 3 3/4 too. Like that's the main reason why I started collecting those, because there's so many like different, like you said, genres and multiverses and everything. And I'm like, this is just gonna be one place where everyone can hang out. It's gonna be my own world. Yeah. And you can make whatever. Like I think I have Kylo Ren as a good guy. He's like in like white and Jedi colors instead of black and red. Like I have like this whole thing in my head. I'm like, this could be like an outer skirts like planet, and they could have been mining at one time, and so it just kind of built from there. And now it's like a whole like portion of the house. So
and see that I think that's what a lot of people forget is that the whole premise of toys is to use your imagination. Mm-hmm. And I think we lose track of it because we get too hung up on the movie. We get too hung up on the series, the TV show, the comic book, whatever. And I mean, I remember decades ago, many decades ago, you play with your toys and it was all about imagination. It was about what you could create. It was, changing clothes, whatever. And I think a lot of people have sort of lost that fun.
I think a lot of it is everyone wants the newest thing, and that's great. And I like watching those guys who can do reviews. I'm not a review guy because I miss a lot of stuff because I get excited. I'm like, oh, they have double jointed knees. Oh, this head's really cool. All right, let's paint it. And I forget to talk about the butterfly joints, this, that. I'm not good. I'm like, there are people who are great at it. Go watch them. Like they're good at it. That's their thing.
I love doing reviews. One of the things I'm doing this year is typically I would put stuff up and for a project. It's like, because that's what I buy toys for. It's based on some kind of a project or a photo or something that's just crammed around in my brain. I mean, there is my Funko Pops are all across the board. My action figures are all across the board. I mean,
there's Nacho Libre the other day, and you're like, I forgot to cancel it, but these are
And you know what? Those are sick looking pops. And when I got them, I thought, wait a minute, I got a Raw wrestling ring. How cool! They work.
So perfect.
And I think that's the thing that makes it fun. Is number one, I'm glad I'm not a completionist because and I love when I do my reviews because a lot of YouTube content creators, I mean, let's be real, we do make money off YouTube to a certain degree.
You might.
Once you get to a certain level, you get monetized and you make money. Okay, number one, you ain't getting rich off of it.
No,
it don't even
put right back into the show, like into the equipment, Yeah.
And my thing is a lot of people get wrapped up on views and subs and things like that. Now, when I do a review video, man, if I get 500 views off of it, I feel like that's a win.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I don't care because I enjoy doing the review. Now, my video, which it'll probably already be released by the time you do this.
Yep.
On a DC figure, and I broke it. It broke during the review.
I've broke one.
But
Did you break it in half?
The leg just.
This guy snapped. So I put a magnet in there and he's gonna be magnetized.
Genius, a magnet.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to throw this away or just use it for parts. It's Nightwing, so. But
whoops, see, yeah. I didn't even edit that out. I kept it because that's real.
Right.
Guess what? Things happen.
And McFarlane's hit or miss sometimes too, you know, like
it is, you know. And
I'm trying to still figure out like what the articulation is because a lot of them are differently articulated. And I think it's like to even it out. So like this guy doesn't have thigh swivel. One of the Batman does. But then like when I had him, because I had him out, like I was gonna have him high flying, doing like a huge like monster pose. But when I put the legs in, it put pressure on the pin. So when I twisted his body, that's what snapped it, was the pressure from. But then he's got toe articulation to offset the difference up here. It's like it is genius, but there isn't like any rhyme or reason for each one. Like they're all different sometimes.
They're totally. Now I got to ask you your opinion here. Yes or no? Every single action figure should have a toe pivot.
After messing with McFarlane, sure, I'd take it.
I mean, can you imagine a Marvel Legends with a toe pivot, Black Series? Can you imagine even Deadpool with a toe pivot? I mean,
even some of the 3 3/4 like Acid Rain and stuff have it too.
Acid Rains are so cool looking.
If you ever jump into 3 3/4, I suggest it because
honestly,
like, imagine this guy with a wash.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just he looks crazy now, but he could look really, really wild.
Out of all of the 3 3/4, Acid Rain is literally at the top of the pyramid, in my opinion. I mean,
dude, like you can take vintage collection. Like I took a Rex and I made Rex on an Acid Rain body, and now he looks superior compared to all the other commanders. So it's like I do stuff like that. Like he just looks next level. I'm like, hell yeah. Like, but yeah, I found that also selects, they go really well with McFarlane scale, like the Marvel Select.
They do.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna pick and choose whichever selects I like and characters I love, and I don't need to complete a wave of legends. Like some of the legends are kind of, I don't love them anymore, you know.
There's, I mean, well, to give you an honest, like the latest wave for Legends, Stilt Man. The only one I truly loved was Peter B. Parker, because Peter B. Parker, number one, he had 2 different color shoes on. He had a trench coat. He had a freaking cup. A cup. That's a cool accessory, you know. That's a cool accessory, and he has character, and he has a personality to him. And one of the first things that I thought about with Peter B. Parker is the trench coat needs a wash.
Yeah.
Just sort of dirty it up just a little bit. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, just like a subtle wash. Yeah.
Like he's been living on the street, you know, type thing.
Yeah. And I think charcoal, I don't know, like, because it's not just charcoal. Like, I have the Vallejo, like, powders and stuff. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Oh. So it's like all the powders I can find and use. And I use those, the Tamiya kits, too. These, like.
Tamiya kits?
Yeah, these work really well also. And then I was trying to find something that wouldn't strip the powders and make it like I didn't do anything. And then when I found I saw the guys that were doing charcoal, they were using the Mr. Clear, I think it's called.
Yeah, that can of stuff that you showed in your video. And I thought, I've
it
never
works,
heard of this.
Neither did I. And it works really well. I did grab this stuff up from Walmart, but it kind of gave it like a little bit of tacky feel. So, but this one, when I was using that, it's great. It's like $15 a bottle is the only thing. But if you're doing this all the time, it's worth it to seal it. It doesn't take any of the details away because it doesn't go heavy. And if you're far enough away, like this guy, like you can't even tell that I put a clear on him.
Dude, that looks sick, dude. That is so sick looking.
I wanted something to kind of complement. I did a Captain America a long time ago, but I wanted to do my own version. I only want to have one Wolverine, and I wanted to have him look like he is I think it's Vietnam where they did that flashback. So I wanted to be like that, only with the mask.
Yes.
So I grabbed up this Mezco mask, and then I just repainted it yellow with white eyes because it was the X-Force one, so it was gray with red. So I just like, well, we can make it into regular Wolverine. Yeah. So
Have you ever got any of the Marauders Gunrunner weapon accessories?
no,
Oh,
I
dude,
don't think.
you can Google it. It's Marauders Gunrunners, but they do 12 scale, and I think they do 18 scale. But these are legitimately spot on weapons.
Heck
They
yeah.
look just absolutely real. And you
Yeah,
can
'cause
usually buy like a set of 8 or 9 of them for like $20.
okay, yeah, it's not
But
bad.
because some of the weapons are sort of weird looking, you know,
Yeah.
the figures, and you want something maybe look just a little bit more realistic. Like I took an M4 and put it in a trooper's hand instead of the blaster,
Yeah.
just because hey, maybe troopers came to Earth. I don't know. They don't have
They could
blasters. Give them
have.
an M16 or something, Um,
Well, I did what was he? Scout trooper, and I was like, he needs like a sniper rifle because the scout trooper is supposed to be the best shot out of all the troopers until First Order came.
right.
They were supposed to be the elite force, and they're scouting, so obviously they have to be snipers. So I gave them a big gun, and yeah.
Yeah, so I started getting into resin casting,
Okay.
making my own molds and doing resin casts. So I don't remember the Apocalypse figure. It came with the skull that he holds in his hand,
Yeah.
and that's a 12 scale skull. And so I've got a 12-foot by 10-foot outdoor diorama with the big TIE fighter that
Yeah.
6-inch figures, the big one
Yeah.
that I completely cut up and made a crash TIE fighter scene.
That's
And
awesome.
I'll sit there and throw like smoke bombs in it, comes out of the hatch. I mean, it's insane. There's been so much pyrotechnics done at that thing. It's insane. But I saw Michael Wu. I follow Michael Wu, which is I can't even Sergeant Bananas. These guys, they're toy photographers. And I noticed one of the photos he had a skeleton, and it had an orange Star Wars jumpsuit. It was a skeleton. I thought, ooh, that looks sick. I
Yeah.
like that. How do we do this? So I took the skull from the Apocalypse figure, made a silicone mold for it. Now I can pour my own skulls. And this is one of my creations right
That's
here.
cool. That's so cool.
I mean,
That looks good, man.
because I wanted a stormtrooper that had basically just been left behind.
Yeah.
Now the bad thing about it's like the skull is actually glued on. I had to actually do a lot of Dremel work because the skull is not designed to fit a figure. So I actually hollowed out the skull, but then I had to sand down the peg to get it on there. Then I just glued it on.
So, pro tip you can use if you want to, because I know you like to probably emote your figures, like the head, like that's big for photography. Some of this stuff, some of the tack buddy.
Oh yeah, the sticky tack.
Yeah, you just put some of that in the head instead of glue. That way, when you're doing your photography, he can look down. He can, emote a little bit.
I like that. Well, the way I
did it with Pops, dude, because I was trying to I wanted my Pops to have some type of they have. When I was doing the toy photography with Pops, I was very limited, but with that, I felt like you could do so much, if that makes any sense.
Oh,
I don't know. I felt like everyone's in a box.
Funko Pops. I truly love Funko Pop photography.
You get props and everything. Like for that Tony Hawk one, you had a skateboard and you were out where there's graffiti. Yeah. I was like, this is it.
I went and bought that skateboard that day. It's $12 at Walmart. I thought this is Tony Hawk. He's got to have a skateboard. Yeah. Who cares if it's a full-size skateboard? It's Funko Pop. It's Tony Hawk. Let's do this. And
that made me a fan. I think that video, I was like, oh, he goes all out. I like that. And it's for this one Pop, but it makes it tells a whole story. Like, it's crazy.
And that's the thing. It's like when I created this thing, you know, he was going to be designed where he was going to be like up against a rock or just something. Like basically, he just was wounded, and this is the spot that he died.
Yeah.
And I've actually got another trooper outside because I got a lot of stuff that I follow on Pinterest for toy photography. There's so much on Pinterest. It's insane.
Yes.
That's right, people. I'm on Pinterest.
Hey, me too.
But it was a cartoon drawing, and it was so just insanely cool. But it's basically almost sort of a cross between Star Wars and Vlad the Impaler, but they had like a cross and they had a stormtrooper up on it like this.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm like, this is cool. So what I did was I recreated the same thing, but I took the blaster for the cross piece.
Oh.
And I took those big long wood skewers that you use for kebabs.
Yep.
They got a point on them. They stick in the ground. I took some green floral wire, real skinny floral wire, and done a wrap around the weapon. So that trooper's like on the weapon.
That's cool.
Hanging. He's out there diorama. He's been out there for like 6 months, just naturally weathering. There's mud on him. He's just out there. I've not took one photo yet because my thing is you set up a couple other troopers that come up on it. Like you've come into a land or a planet or something. It's like, look, guys, we're not going to take your bull crap. And here you go. This is the way we feel. And if you go back to the old Planet of the Apes movies, they had the crosses of the X's, and they had like people on them as a warning. And that was the premise that I came up for that particular thought.
It's like a line in the sand type of thing.
Yeah, don't go past here, you know.
Yeah.
And again, that's the beauty of having fun with your dang toys.
Yeah.
You know?
And doing like not keeping them in the box. Like I know for some of the pops you have to because of value. And,
well, honestly, the pops store better in a box. They truly do.
Yeah.
You see behind you, they stack great.
Yeah, I only have a few left because I got out of it because I was like, I'm spending way too much money on too many things. I was like, I need to do one thing in Star Wars, either Black Series or Pops. Because the reason why I want to do the Pops, I did get some Marvel along the way, but I wanted to just like bust the balls on all my friends who are taking the pictures every single day of the troopers walking through the water. And I wanted to do that with Pops. So I did like Commander Cody and like a bunch of clone troopers walking through water and stuff.
Well, see, that's where a lot of people, because like I have no problem taking, because you know Funko changed, you can't take the bases off.
Right.
Because I'm sorry, that's just stupid.
Makes them perfect for water.
I have so many pops that I have boiled and took the bases off, and I've had people go, "Oh, how could you do that?" I'm like, because the base is stupid and it's in my way.
The bases, it's only because of licensing, right? Like they're the only ones because they don't, because Pops has to make it different or something along those lines.
Yes, I gotta show you something. This is, I don't know, but I'm thinking it should be close by. I could be wrong.
Yeah, but that was the whole reason why I got into doing the Pops, because I wanted to recreate what my friends were doing just to bust on them and have a fun with it. Right. And then it turned into me getting like way too many, like over 200.
So I've got,
in like 3 months.
These little minis, take these bases off. These things are wicked cool without the bases.
Really?
They have so much personality in the facial expressions.
Yeah. So with it being a bobblehead, do you ever like, I used to stick foam up inside of there to get their head to do a certain like thing.
I've not thought about that. That's
because I really wanted to like I really wanted to like push them to their max, like their that so you put a little bit of foam up in the spring. Yeah, I mean, I learn from you every time I watch a video. So I think you said something the other day You're like, this is how you, if you cut a box, hey, use your thumb. And then I was like, that's so smart. Like,
oh yeah, it's like, I mean, it's, you know, you just hold it like that. It's just,
it was just like, that was so easy. And I was like,
I actually showed that to a Target employee because they were
mine.
I was like, hey, do this, just hold it right there.
Dude, also I want to ask you, since you're talking about stores, that Walmart that you went to with all those boxes, what is going on there?
That Walmart,
just for toy hunts, just to see what they're doing.
Dude, that Walmart is like my honey hole right now because I've been to it 3 times and they have rearranged it all 3 times. Everything was in the garden center, now it's not. And boxes, I'm just like, what is going on right now? And I have no idea, but it's fun to go back because now it's like, okay, we'll go back this weekend. Has anything changed? And every time I've been 3 weeks in a row, and all 3 weeks it has been different.
Yeah, I've been staying tuned. I'm like, what's happening now? Like, get some popcorn.
It's like that is literally like a series of a show. So yeah.
No, I think a lot of the, like, so much of like your being who you are, like the community that's around you, like Martha in the comments all the time, like these really cool people that are there for the fun of toys. Like,
oh yeah,
it's just a great community that you have, that you built. It's all organic, and like you can tell the people are there. It's not just bots that, you know, like people buy, you know, bots on stuff, right. But it's like people who actually are with you and like are part of like what you're doing. It's really cool, man. Like
I tell you, it's a I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things to where it's I guess my thing is there's way too much negativity in the world. Way too much.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't even turn a corner without there being negative. And I mean, I know this sounds corny, but man, some of the funnest times I ever had in my life had to do with a toy.
Yeah.
I mean, happy times. I mean, good times. I mean, and I say this all the time, especially to my wife. You know, the world would be a better place if there was more toy stores. You know, because
I don't disagree.
I mean, I don't get mad. I mean, it's like, number one, I told myself in the very beginning, if toys ever made me mad, then I would quit, because it's a toy. I cannot wrap my head around getting mad because you didn't get a toy and you're a grown person.
Some of the Facebook groups, that's why I stay off of. I'll share my videos. Like I kind of do, like I see you're on there like sharing some of the groups I share in, but I kind of stay away from them just because of the negative stuff. Or if I do comment, I want it to be like, hey, that looks really good. Yeah. And then I'm surprised people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that. I'm like, I thought it was cool. Like I can't paint that good. Like you guys are really better.
Oh man, I think you're cutting yourself a little short, dude. You got some stuff going on, bro.
But there is people coming out of the woodwork that can really hit details, and I just want them to know, like, don't quit, just keep going. Like what you guys are doing is great. And like when I got into like the toy photography part, it was a little bit after I started doing custom, because I started with props and then worked my way into figures because I was doing cosplay, suit acting, stuff like that. And like when I was wearing the mediums, now I'm in extra large. So when I was down to like 200, which was a while back, but I was in a group. There was a toy photography ACBA group, articulated comic book action. Yeah. So I was in that, and I just saw them just take people who are just starting out and just shred them, and they made it to where I would feel like crap. And I'm just like, that's not what this is supposed to be.
No,
like, they missed one rule that they had, and I was like, who cares? Like they're trying, they're young too. Like a lot of the guys that were coming in were young, and it just kicks them all away right away. Like, and they can have so much potential. Like if somebody can take what I do, or just like one tip that I give, and they can make something crazy and bigger from it, that's all. That's what it's about, you know.
Right. Thank you. And I mean, because my biggest question that people ask me all the time is, what kind of camera do I need to get to do toy photography? I'm like,
use your phone. Yeah.
Literally, Toy Bill. I don't know if you know Toy Bills. He's on Instagram.
Probably.
His name's Billy. I've met him. He's 100% phone photographer, and holy crap, what he creates is insane. It's phone.
It's great. Like Empire Tourist. I don't know if you saw any of his stuff. His stuff is, he's like, yeah, I use a phone. I'm like, what? Like, what are you even saying right now? Because some of the shots, and to be honest, some of the shots you can get cooler angles with a phone.
Yes, thank you.
Really
you got a big DSLR and you're trying to get a low shot or something. I mean, there's only so far down you can go.
Yeah.
That camera is like this.
And a phone could get a blade of grass onto like a figure, you know what I mean? Like you can get so much. And I think one of the things that helped me too that you brought up, it was a live thing that you're doing. I think you were out with Obi-Wan. You were out in the sand pit somewhere in a construction site. And you were doing you were doing the auto cheat, like where you do an auto shot and then you get the numbers and then you go to manual, you plug those numbers in, turn your flash off. I was like, that is genius, man. Like,
well, the thing about, because I've been a photographer since 2008, I think.
So, like a real photographer, though, like not like where everyone's like, I'm a photographer. Like I've gone to that website and bought 2 of your prints. One was the inside of a train, and the other one was a lock. Yeah, and the other one was the lock on a wire, like on a bridge almost. That was So, I mean, you're a real photographer. So,
well, I mean, it's one of those things to where, I mean, I've shot weddings, I've shot proms, I've shot senior portraits, landscapes. I've shot, I think, close to 4,000 corporate headshots. For businesses. Wow. I mean, so the thing that really a lot of people ask, and I've told it on my live streams and stuff. So, what got you into shooting toys? That's like one of my most common questions. Because if you go to gregcookphotography.com or gregcookphotography.com, you'll see wedding stuff. You'll see things like that. And I read an article out of a website, Pixie Paste. I can't remember what but it's a photography website. And they had an article about a 6-scale figure. It was called the War Correspondent. And it was made, I think, by Toy Monkey, back in 2000. And it's basically a 6-scale figure. He's got cameras. He's got a video camera. I mean, he's got a UN helmet. He's got a vest. I mean, it's like he's a war correspondent.
That's cool.
Wow, that is wicked cool. Because when I would go on either work trips or vacations, I thought, how cool would it be for whenever I go out and shoot? I love graffiti. I'm obsessed with graffiti. I think it's one of the greatest art forms there is. And I wanted to figure out a way to, when I would get down into a position to shoot a wall or whatever, how cool would it be to have a figure that was shooting that same thing, but I was behind it. So I'm shooting the wall of the picture I took. So
that's insane.
Third iteration of him right here.
Oh, wow.
I actually done his other body took a very massive fall.
I've had a couple
I've done a replace on him. He's got a different head sculpt, but he actually has Canon cameras.
That's so cool.
Got his Stormtrooper t-shirt on. And I found him an anaerobic chair at Hobby Lobby.
There you go. Perfect.
So, and that was the thing, is like I could take him anywhere I went and set him up and take a photo of him. Now, his name is Simon Russell because he came with a press pass that said S. Russell on it. So I figured, hey, you're Simon. And Simon works for Greg Cook Photography.
That's so cool.
Simon has done celebrity headshots and stuff of Deadpool. He's worked with stormtroopers. You know, stormtroopers can be a little dievish, you know.
Yeah.
Can't see their faces, but they have attitudes.
Yeah.
And that was sort of the premise that started this. And then I got to thinking, wait a minute, I can apply the same real life concepts of lighting and everything to a toy.
Yeah. On a much smaller scale.
And I always have something to shoot. I don't have to
and you
wait.
never have to worry about the subject if they're moving or like
if they're late.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to worry about bridezillas. I don't have to worry about anything. I can just create. And
my mom owns a bridal store, so I've heard some stories.
I truly, to be honest with you, I truly love shooting weddings.
Yeah.
I don't shoot no more than 4 a year at the most. It's just one of those things. It's a full, you know, it's a 12-hour day, and then the post processing, you know, you got deadlines, and it's just, I mean, you can make good money being a wedding photographer. You can make stupid money being a wedding photographer, but I just find that by me taking an inanimate object, and one of my latest projects was.
Wait, are these the Spawn things?
No, this is actually my Mandalorian.
Oh, wow.
And I've had so many people actually ask, dude, where did you find the dude that had the Mandalorian costume? And the reason why is because of this chair.
Do you think that sometimes people will scroll right past that on Instagram because they think it's not a toy?
I don't know, but I mean, I like.
Sometimes I'll spend hours on a shot and I'll put it up and I was like, maybe people don't know it's a toy. Like it gets like 50 likes, which whatever, as long as someone liked it, I'm happy. But I'm like, maybe people think it's a real like cosplay because I used to do cosplay. Like maybe, you know, or they think it's a shot from a movie. I'm just putting it up. Like
I try to post in there, you know, hey, this is Funko Pops are easy, but like I'll put like the hot toy and this and that. But I mean, I think a lot of times you try to overthink it, and there's a person. I look at so many different photographers and draw inspiration from so many people. Toy Bill. There's so many people out there that's throwing out content and photos, and I'm just like, this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I think of a project is, you know, simple, you know, and it's
looks
black and white, you know, it's nothing. There's no props. It's a chair. It's
which
like,
whiteout shots are not easy at all.
and I mean, when I sit there and think about the old Mando here, you know, and 6 scale, that takes it even to another level of detail that when you photograph.
Yeah.
Now, all of my 6 scale stuff, they're all troopers. I love non-face sculpts. I love the anonymity of not knowing who's there. Is it a male? Is it a female? Black, white? It doesn't matter.
I feel like you can get more emotion out of a character with a helmet. I don't know why I feel that way, but I do.
It's harder.
Yeah.
You know? But if you sit there and take just a clone trooper, you know, he's white, he's a clone trooper, which this is just these right here. I will buy every one of these that I ever find.
You know, since you said that in your video, I've done the same thing because of that. I was like, yeah, that makes sense to me too.
Gosh, dude, from a customization point of view, this is a blank canvas.
Yeah.
There is nothing here.
It's almost intimidating, if I can be honest. It's kind of because you're like, oh god, there's so much I can do. Like,
what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
Sit there and take a figure, and you know, you take a helmet and you twist it, or you pull it one way or another. Little minute. I think the head gestures come off cleaner and more empowering off of a mask figure than it does a head sculpt figure.
I think I completely agree. I'm glad that that makes sense to somebody else. I feel like I say that a lot in my videos. I'm like, this is really great for emoting. Like Power Rangers, I don't have one of them with those stupid head sculpts. I have them all with the helmets on. You know,
Yes.
and I know that Power Rangers is like you were older when they came out, so like, but you still when you're
Yeah.
in the store, you're like, here's a pink one, guys. Like, and I think you want to get the pumpkin wrapper because every time you see it,
Pumpkin wrapper is really, I want to put a black wash on the pumpkin wrapper so bad.
yeah.
I mean, literally, because I got the, you remember the Walgreens exclusive thing?
The which one?
The Walgreens exclusive thing.
Oh yes, yes.
All right, so again, there's what's Thing doing? He's got a face grab on the Silver Surfer. But now this was the actual marble edge one, and it came out, had a really good detail to it. Had some
Crazy
good
detail.
Well, the Walgreens came out and it was solid orange. There was no black.
Yeah.
And this was one of the first ones I did, and I put a heavy wash on him.
He looks good though.
I mean, I don't know. To me, that heavy wash, it really got down in the cracks. It just, I don't know, man. It just.
He's
So
a great figure
I was
too.
these side by side just to see what Hasbro did and what I did.
Yeah. And I did that wash, and then I hit him with some of this clear Tamiya orange.
Ooh.
To kind of give him like a glossy. It was a different thing I was doing at the time, but it made it like really pop. I was like, oh, this is a really nice figure. Like that's what I love. Like the big figures, I love them for how much detail they put in them. Like you said, 1/6 scale too.
Oh my dude, that's the one thing that I'm really looking at in 2021, because right now my whole painting scheme is I'm a huge Plaid FX paint.
Yeah.
And that's just because of all the foam cosplay stuff that I'm doing
Yep.
with the mask and things like that.
Yeah, I saw you had the scorpion mask and stuff on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my therapy. That's
That
how
looks really good.
with the vid, you know.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest
Yeah.
with you, you walk out and you got one of those on, people do take a second look at you.
Like what?
Get over here.
Yeah.
I gotta show you these two. Most of them are downstairs, so I don't have a bunch up here. Because actually, there's a so this is my Frankenstein that I made.
Oh, that's crazy.
I mean, it's all out of
crazy.
foam. I mean, it's just
That's tough to use too. I've done many things with EVA, and it's not easy.
That Plaid FX paint. It looks so good on foam.
It looks clean.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually pretty proud of this one. This one's yeah. So then where I work was doing a Halloween contest. No, a pumpkin carving contest.
Oh.
So I follow SKS Props, Much Props. These guys are YouTubers that do, EVA foam. And so when I saw the contest about carving a pumpkin, I thought, well, okay, carving a pumpkin. Well, instead of carving one, why don't I just make one?
Shut up.
This is an EVA foam pumpkin head that I made. It's all foam, and then I hot glued a bottom of a t-shirt inside of it. Yeah, it's all those pieces that are glued together.
That's crazy. I said it in one of your videos, you literally could do anything. Like just like the highlights on that and the lowlights just make it pop. That's crazy.
Needless to say, I won the pumpkin carving contest.
They didn't say it had to be a pumpkin.
Hey, it's a pumpkin. And
EVA foam is harder to cut and sculpt than a pumpkin. So
exactly. That's sort of the way I approached it. But EVA foam, I really got into that. I've done some, I've got my Star Wars blaster that I've created.
That's all out of EVA?
Yeah, it's all foam. There's the scene line right there. So yeah, wow. I mean,
and it's light.
Oh yeah, it don't weigh nothing. I've done a couple of generations of blaster pistols. This is a prototype of a Wester 35 for the Death Watch that I just sort of, I don't know, put my spin on. I don't know why, but I put iron sights on it. I have no idea why.
Hey, it works.
Well, it's funny.
I was doing an Overwatch. I was doing a Soldier 76, and I pretty much had to make all my own stuff. Like, because one of his guns he never pulls out and stuff. And I've never really played the game a whole bunch, but one of his guns he never pulls out. So I had to create my own gun. And I was like, I guess, like, I'll just follow.
That is so much fun to do. I mean, it's Captain Rex pistols.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought Captain Rex needed wood grain textures.
Because you wanted it, not because it was screen accurate.
Right. So, I mean, and that's the thing that I try to, it doesn't matter what you're into, you know?
Yeah, because I know people are going to complain about this Wolverine. Like, he didn't have a mask on, he had a helmet.
Dude,
like,
that Wolverine is sick.
These legs are Killmonger legs. I went through like 10 different heads, and like it's a work of art. He's got a samurai sword.
So I know you do a lot of the whole tear downs and this body piece, blah, blah, blah.
Sometimes.
I personally I have yet to fully take apart a figure. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, it's trial and error with me. I really have no idea how to actually fully take them apart.
Well, honestly, I don't want to. If I don't have to, I'm like the broke guy's customizer. So, like, if you are watching these people who are pulling them apart, and there's great people out there that can airbrush and do, you know. But I'm like, what can I work with? What you have at home? Like, for this, I wanted certain boots, so I had to grab the legs. But that was just an easy, like, boil and pop type of thing.
Right.
So, but I usually don't get too crazy into pulling things apart because they never go back the same. They're always a little bit loose, a little bit different. And I'm like, I want my figures to be solid. And with troopers, there's not much rub because it's all armor. So you can have a freaking blast. You can have a crazy time with a trooper.
Well, see, that's the thing I love about these clone troopers and even normal stormtroopers. But to me, the clone troopers, because number one, the clone helmets.
Yeah.
And if you remember seeing the 332nd clone troopers, the only difference with them is their helmet. That's the only thing that's got orange paint on it. Everything else is still white. Then the lieutenants just had little blue and stuff. And I would just sit there thinking, you know, and I know this sounds really weird, but how cool would it be to actually take a trooper upper and put it on something like a Cable lower or like that Wolverine Killmonger lower? In other words, he's a trooper, but it's almost like the Marshal in the Mandalorian. If you remember the Marshal, he had the chest armor and he had normal clothes, sort of.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I've been kicking around with is basically taking just either a stormtrooper or a clone trooper or something and find just, I mean, well, I'll use Deadpool as an example. You know, if you put the trooper upper on Deadpool's lower, you know, and then maybe did a repaint if you didn't want the red, just make it, you know, black or brown or whatever.
Yeah.
Because this Deadpool figure this is the one that came out of the 2-pack.
Yeah, he's solid.
He is sick looking.
Yeah, I got him sitting on a couch with his little pony.
Yeah. But that's the thing I love about these is I just sort of want to create my own battalion.
Do it. Do a 3 or 4 crew. Like, I love doing that. I don't know if you've seen all of my videos, but I have, when those mountain troopers came out, my favorite troopers, you're gonna hate this, but my favorite troopers.
I got 4 of them that I have not opened yet because I have no idea what I want to do with them yet. So
my favorite troopers though are First Order and Scarab Shore Troopers. I love their design. So when they said Mountain Trooper, that's best of both worlds for me. And I just like freaked out. I did. And I'll just show you instead of just telling you, because you know why not? Wanted to make a lieutenant for them. So
I saw that video because you got that big one.
Yeah, I did the big guy too. But I want to make each one, like this guy has a strap or whatever. I don't know how well. But I just want to make them all a little bit different.
It's almost like a Bad Batch, just different.
Yes.
That's the thing I love about the Bad Batch is each one of them was specifically different, but the same.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I love about these troopers is you can. I will ask you this though. So most of the troopers, you have a really gloss, slick finish.
Yeah.
You do anything like sanding or anything on those before you paint them?
I don't. These guys are they're pretty matte for the clones. Like their helmets are.
Yeah. But if you feel them, they got that real slick plastic feel, and I didn't know.
I think just using that spray might be a good way to prime it because it's matte.
Yeah.
And it's an actual matte. It's not like a shiny matte. It's actually like makes it matte. That might be a great way because then you don't have to sand and worry about doing too much,
Right. Do you
like just look at that. Just standing there at attention, like just looking off, like
and it's just every time, and I keep this at my desk because I keep one of them in my desk up here and I keep one in my lunchbox because I'm constantly in my lunch.
With all your rack cars.
I have a lieutenant and I have a regular clone because the lieutenant already has some blue on it, and I use it and I look at it and I'm thinking, man, what color combination should I use? And I run into that a lot when I'm sitting here thinking
I think you should do. I have two things, but so I think you should do a graffiti version.
Ooh,
like I think you could pull it off.
Ooh.
Like some type of graffiti style, like maybe on a pauldron, and then like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like a post-apocalyptic. He's got a little bit of graffiti, like maybe some pink. I don't know, something to really make him pop. And then if he had like smoke coming down in a photo, he would just be standing there. I don't know. I got crazy ideas though.
Oh, dude. So I know that you use a lot of Tamiya paint and stuff like that. Do you use the Citadel paints, which I think you do, right?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I love that.
I have yet to do anything Citadel, and everybody tells me, dude, you got to use Citadel. And I know Citadel is like the creme de la creme of paint for these figures.
Have you ever seen, I've used this corrosion stuff. It's made by Citadel. It has like a mud texture to it. So like on your boots and stuff, that's where they're going to get the most mud, especially on mud troopers. But you can do like just a little bit coming up and then like maybe a little bit up here. But then they have like 3 different steps where you can use like an oxide if you want like a bluish color.
Okay.
And then you hit it with the rust, like lightly dry brush it. And it just like it. See if I got.
I'm gonna have to get you to send me an actual top 10 Citadel paints to have to paint an action figure.
See, I just bought the base ones and then the layer ones, I believe. But they have so many people. Like, have you ever used this one?
Citadel has a lot of paint.
But yeah, if you see like
that looks sick.
It's like a crazy rust job, and I use a little bit of the blue and stuff, but and then the bottom it's completely rusted out. But that's why I like 3 3/4 because they have ships, dude. And like, yes, it was cool to make a TIE fighter in 6-inch, but I want more.
Like, that's my biggest pet peeve with 6-inch is they don't have anything, you know. They just don't. Now, I did pick up a figure today, just for this.
It's a review.
It's sort of a review, but I think you need to pick one up and do the Josh spin on it.
All right, what is it?
It's from Apex Games. This bad boy, the Pathfinder.
Yep, I need one. So I love these Apex, and I'm finding them for like $5 at Walmart's. I'm making a mud trooper.
Yes.
So I want.
See, to me, that reminds me of a 6-inch Acid Rain. That figure does.
He could roll with these guys and be a lieutenant. I ripped off some of his stuff that he had, and I'm trying to get the paint right. So it's kind of a crazy paint scheme. But yes, dude, I think that one, yes.
Have you ever seen the movie Chappie?
No.
Okay, so you need to do a Google search on Chappie's about a robot. And
yeah, I'm writing it down. I still write stuff down. I'm old school.
Oh, I do too. This figure reminds me of Chappie. And Chappie's like yellow and black.
Oh, Chappie.
Yes.
I thought you said Taffy. I was like, no. Yes. Yes. I know what you're talking about. So, let me write that down.
But if you look at this figure, it reminds me of Chappie.
Yep.
And now, don't get me wrong, the blue looks great on it, but I'm thinking, some almost like caution yellow tape, the yellows and the oranges and the blacks and things like that. But I mean, this thing's got like 26 points of articulation.
Yeah, I kind of did something with her arm like that with the yellows and stuff. Yeah. I don't know if you saw this Harley, but
oh, that's a sick Harley, dude.
Yeah, I use that Halo body.
Dude, see, are you talking about the new Halos?
Yeah, it's a mechanical arm one.
Oh, dude. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, it's the same kind of the same style, but the Apex really, they have a lot of articulation.
Oh, dude. I mean, look at this thing. I mean, look at that. I mean,
it's crazy.
A robot? I mean, come on. But when I've saw this thing and I've got Bloodhound, which is the one that you showed.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when I first saw this thing, I thought, the solid blue gets covered. There's so much that's covered up just by the blue that, and I'm thinking, even if you did, metallics and where you could see chrome and things like that, almost like with Cygor, you got.
Yeah. And then you were talking about his elbow at one point, how it was different from the rest and how you colored it different, I think. Yeah. His elbow pad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really cool how you did that.
But I mean, to me, it's like, when I first saw this figure, because he's got this, these yellow tubes and that you wouldn't even have to repaint.
Yeah.
So many things on him. He's got this weird looking little KO. But if you look at it, see, you got like it's like a hologram.
That's cool. Oh, that's really cool.
But when
that reminds me of some what's that one? I read a graphic novel. The hell's the name of it? Saga. Saga has some computer, like the king head and stuff, like
or
the prince. Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking that if you had like 2 or 3 of these, I mean, they could be, almost like the endoskeletons for Terminator. You could turn them into something cooler. But I mean, look at this freaking pivot. I mean, that is just
crazy.
Insane. How I mean, that's insane. And it's just like a big ball pivot right there. So I mean,
that's easy to work with too.
Well, and the thing about it too, he actually has an ab articulation, so he actually comes almost all the way backwards.
That's crazy.
I mean,
you shot at him doing like a limbo.
Oh. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's got toe articulation.
I don't know. This guy, yeah, this one has it too.
But when I first saw these, number one, I thought of you, number one, because I thought, oh, Josh could do some serious business with one of these bad boys. But then I got to thinking, well, you know what, Greg? Hey, why don't you do this one as your first repaint?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking too much when it comes to the troopers. And this thing right here, you could do you could do a camouflage scheme. You could do an urban. You could do a mixture. You could do a steampunk. You could do an acid rain.
You could do like one part could be like that primer, like where is it at? I have primer colors. But, like a primer, like like that. This color kind of, you could prime out like one arm that hasn't been painted yet, just like a car. That's what I use a lot of car photos of like rusted, weathered cars, and I kind of look at those as like inspiration and stuff. I use a lot of concept art.
That's actually
Like this R2D2 I did like a year or two ago. It was kind of crazy.
Dude.
But he was on like these Kamen Rider bodies are so cheap. I was like, I'm gonna do an assault one because I wanted him to go with the R2 I did.
Dude,
and I was like, it'd be really cool. And I was like, it'd be really cool to have those two like side by side. And now I'm working on a C3PO, so it's like I just want to do stuff a little bit different. I still want like the stuff that comes out, but I want to do something cool too.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's the thing that, I mean, even this silly thing, I mean, he actually comes with some actual cool weapons.
Yeah. Yes.
They're legitimately cool.
Yeah. They all do. Like I thought.
Because that's my biggest pet peeve when it comes to, weapons that are all black.
Yeah.
You almost have to go through and something to them just to give it some character.
Here they are. Yeah, they gave us some green and
yes, those are good. These are good looking weapons. I mean, a little bit of a wash on them. You got some good colors. I mean, there's blues and silvers and
that's what these powders come in handy for, because I can take on like because on the muzzle you want more of like rust, right? Like on the end.
Yeah.
So I just take a little bit and just like hit it like that, and then you're done. And it's got like a little bit of rust on the end.
I'm gonna have to order me some flipping.
Yeah, when it comes to weathering, dude, I know people are like, "Oh, you just dip it in paint and wipe it out." I'm like, no, there's like different techniques. Like there's a couple.
So I mean, because I just recently picked up a. This is sad. I actually picked up a freaking set of magnifying goggles.
Is that super sad?
Because I feel better now. Yeah, I feel
that's
better
all
now.
I use, dude.
Because I'm sitting here and I'm trying to, figure out how to paint, and you're just like, man, you've worked all day long, you're tired, and crap just blurs. I mean, it just does. But when I put those on, I'm sitting there going, this makes painting so much easier.
Yep.
Because I can do this, and I can.
And they're only like $10 or $15, $20. And
right.
you can buy them every year for yourself, a little treat for yourself.
I got mine at Harbor Freight for $7. What's crazy? It has a flip down lens that doubles the magnification there. So literally, you're like flipping down like this.
Well, I'm doing a lot of like 3 3/4 stuff. It's tiny.
Oh God, I can imagine 3 3/4.
And I don't have good eyes, so I'm just like, and it's really hard when I'm doing tutorial videos and I have my recorder over top of me and I'm bringing it to myself. I'm like, nope, I got to keep it on the desk because I can't record it. That's why the other day when you were doing your video and you shot it like that, like in front of you, I was like, I did one of my videos like that because you did yours. I was like, I can just do it where I can show people, because I'm not sure yet how to gauge the charcoal because I haven't filmed it a lot. So I don't know how to.
Your charcoal video was great, dude. It was great. I mean, literally, and that's the thing is, like, I've done videos where you do the top down and things like that. But a lot of times, especially when I do my review videos, I want to be like this. I want you to see me messing with it. I don't want it to be
like you'll do a B-roll later. Like you always usually have a B-roll or shots.
Yeah.
Like it all makes sense.
But like the video that'll run this week where I was actually testing the hip articulation, it was like, well, yep, that just happened. There's no denying it. It just happened. And I popped it back on and I told him in the video, I'm like, I'm not going to take it back and get my money back. I mean, it happens. If you play with something, it breaks.
In my Damien video, I was like, so if you just turn the legs and they both fell off. I'm like, so this is kind of what I'm talking about with McFarlane. They just kind of, some of them, he hits it and nails it.
Yes.
Some of them he's still working on the bodies still. Like the little figures, he's working. I know everyone's like, he should have it down pat. I'm like, it's not that. He has a lot going on detail-wise.
It's still mass production.
Yeah.
And And I don't know what you think, but me personally, I think McFarlane is knocking it out of the park.
I built a whole shelf so I can put my McFarlane stuff on it. I was like, well, I guess I need another shelf because I was done with McFarlane. I was like, I'm not gonna get 100 Batmans, and I was like, my favorite character is Batman, Iron Man, and Batman because they're the two superheroes who aren't super powered. So I'm like, they're my favorite because they're real guys. So I was like, yep, I'm just gonna get them all. I don't, whatever. It's my choice,
It is. I need to send you a picture because I did that video on how to take a Bat Raptor vehicle apart.
Yeah.
Because I'm customizing it. And I've got this Bat Raptor completely tore apart. I've got Bondo on it. I'm literally filling in a lot of the gaps and stuff. And then this was so cool is there's a guy that follows me and he's always on the YouTube. His name's Glue Sniffer. And he's a model kit builder. That's all he does. He builds model cars and things like that. And one of the things that I wanted to do is make a custom rack. And I took the Sand Trooper Black Series figure, made a mold of that backpack, and then I cast that backpack in resin. So now I have 3 of those backpacks that I'm going to put on this Bat Raptor. And I was trying to figure out how to make an actual rack to go, because on the Bat Raptor it has the wings on the back, but it has
like an Ecto 1 has, like a rack.
Yeah, but it's going to be on the back. And Glue Sniffer said, dude, take the trees that the pieces of a model kit comes on, snip them, glue them together, and you can make your own rack. And I'm like, that's flipping genius. Now I actually have a model kit that somebody sent me, and I put it together. So now I have these trees, and I've already got pieces of it cut out, little super glue, little hot glue, whatever. And I'm going to make it where it fits on that back end of the Bat Raptor. Then I'm going to get some, it's called cross stitching mats. And you buy them at Hobby Lobby, 75 cents. It's like a mesh.
Yeah.
That's going to be the bed of the frame.
Hell yeah.
It's already mesh.
Yeah.
So you just glue it on there. Then I'm going to stick the whole thing on the back of the Raptor, put these packs on it. It's going to be almost like a Mad Max.
Dude, that sounds insane.
And people are like, well, but it's Batman. I'm like, I don't care.
Batman can do whatever he wants.
Well, I picked them up from GameStop. They had them for $5 a piece.
Yeah.
I bought 3 of them. Dude, seriously, a 6-inch figure vehicle? I don't care if it's Batman or not, for $5.
Yeah.
It can sit over here in the closet for $5 because it might be a project.
Yeah, the cheapest I saw him get down to was like 11, and I was like, oh, should I grab another one just to mess with? And I was like, I'll just keep the one I got, and just because I buy so many 3 3/4 vehicles, I'm like, no, but
since they don't make 6-inch figures, and I was telling people that number one, it has rubber wheels and rubber tires, which is great.
Yeah.
Awesome. You could if you didn't want to do a custom on it, you could just do a repaint. Now this same vehicle will work with a G.I. Joe. It'll work with a Stormtrooper. It'll work with whatever you want.
Yeah, I took an RC car and I made it Mad Max, like a Jeep. And I did it for, I had like a Cable and Bishop, like a crazy concept we were working on with some friends. My biggest thing is, how do you have the balls to walk into a place and do toy hunts? Because you go in with, like, don't you have a thing and, like, you just do your phone? I thought you had, like, a whole, like,
I've got rigs. I've got a Canon M50 that I use. One of the things that I'm actually going to do this year is I'm a huge GoPro guy. I have tons of GoPros.
Okay.
And I have a chest harness for my GoPro, and I'm getting ready to get a thing. It's the GoPro Snap Mount. It's so flipping cool. But it's magnet, and you can actually put it here and underneath your shirt, and it attaches to your shirt.
Like the Iron Man thing.
Yeah. So one of the things I'm going to experiment with in 2021 is using my GoPro as a chest mount, and just walk into a store and I've got it right here, and
but no one, like, you are
confident when you go in there. No one ever messes with you. If anything, people are like, Greg Cook, and then like, they want to get a picture with you.
I have, when I first started YouTube, and if you, my first toy hunt videos, they were like, okay, so.
Now you're like, all right, we're going to go over to the Matchbox. And you start like.
Yeah. And one of the things that I really wanted to, I guess, show is it's okay to be a toy nerd. You know, it's okay to, you know, but I made it a point to be very, very, very respectful of store employees, other customers. Like if there's a toy aisle that I'm going down and there's a mom and her kids and this and that, I'll wait.
Yeah.
I will wait till they leave, because that child is more important. He's supposed to be there. You know, seriously.
Like, what do I look like coming in here pushing a kid?
But it's just one of those things to where timing. I do a lot of hunts in the mornings. It's early.
Yep.
After work, can be a little trickier, especially with the environment we're in now. Right. You know. Yeah. But honestly, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just out here having fun, and I mean, it's like I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not, you know. And I've
you really do, man. Like it's just natural. Like you're not forcing any of it.
My first ones were atrocious. They were bad. They were like
I've tried them, man. I'm like, all right, so we're in here, and okay, we're gonna be looking for this, and then I took the thing up to Target to buy it, and they're like, yeah, that's street data, and I was like, all right, so this is the end of the video.
Well, one of the things that that I've started last year, and I'm really enjoying, is I started noticing people was leaving me comments. And they're like, "Hey, you know, you passed this, or you didn't notice this." So now I'm actually having people, "Hey, if I miss anything,"
yeah, that's what you've been saying, yeah.
And I've got, matter of fact, the video, one of my videos this week, somebody had made a comment, "Hey, could you look at the arcade games? You know, those, what are the 1-ups or whatever that everybody, those little, I walk by them all the time. I've never videoed them, but this person asked me, because he goes, I don't really see them much in my area, and I'd like to see what you have."
Yep.
So, and I know you can order from Walmart, and you might be able to put in a zip code or whatever and find things and maybe get it shipped. I don't know. So that's one of the things that I really am trying to focus on now. But I don't just focus on the things that I like. I mean, I'll look at Hot Wheels. I'll look at Legos. I'll look at Funko Pops. I mean,
I had that all written down, all the stuff that you look at. And I was like, he looks at everything. Like, even if you're not a fan of it, you're like, hey, this, I didn't see this before. You know, this is here. And it's not something that you're collecting or anything, but you're still like, someone might be interested in it. That's why, like, when I was in the video before this, I'm talking about like how people could come watch, and no matter what, you're going to have something for everyone. Like throughout a week span, if someone doesn't find something that they like that you've gone over, talked about, or saw or looked at, then they're not a fan of toys. Like, honestly.
I try. I mean, and it's funny, the video that we'll be dropping it, like I said, it's already came out by the time this comes out. It should be on Friday's toy hunt video. I've had people talk about these micro machines, the little Hot Wheels, little micro machines. They're like, "Oh man, you passed a chase. You passed." I'm like, "Okay, I don't know what you're talking about." So I've actually, because on the fronts of the boxes, there's a silver and a gold. The silver is rare. The gold is a chase.
Okay.
And so I'm looking through, and I actually saw a pack, and I'm like, well, there's a silver car. So I just pulled the pack out, and I've got my camera, and I'm zoomed in. I'm like, well, that's a rare. Hey, I found a rare. I don't know what it is, but I found a rare right there, you know.
Well, you know, as a pop collector, like, you're always after those chases.
You know, chases, like, people ask me, like, this is, I told myself when I first got into toy photography and stuff, I hated pops. I did. I didn't see any practical use for them. I actually made a bet with myself. I said, I will never buy a Funko Pop until I find a Chase in the wild. And that was it right there. And I completely missed it. I was editing the video and I saw it in the video. I stopped what I was doing. I got back in my car, went right back to Walmart. It was still there and I bought it. That's my first Chase. And
I've seen you in, is it Kenpool on Saturdays?
Matthias used to be at the theater. Kenpool is part of the 3-pack. He's in North Carolina.
Okay, yeah, but when you guys used to go on Saturdays and just go crazy at the mall, and I would say that because I was working.
That's Matthias. He's
okay.
Matthias. He's really big into chases, Pez. He's into Hot Wheels. Me and him actually met in Toys R Us, and we just sort of clicked. I was in there filming one day, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I got a YouTube channel. I'm trying to do this." Oh, that's cool. And then next thing you know, we just hit it off. And when
I saw the two of you guys at Barnes & Noble on a rack that wasn't even put up yet, grown-ass men on their knees looking for chases, I was like, these are my guys right here. Like, I'm sticking around for whatever you do in the future because I've been that person, like looking under stuff like at the toy aisles. I was like, that was like, and I think it was like a live thing you guys did one time, and it was so entertaining, like to see other people doing what we do, you know. But you were filming it, and I was like, that's just cool.
And again, it goes back to what I said earlier. You know, there's way too much out there that is designed to bring you down.
Mm-hmm.
And
intentionally, yeah.
Toys to me are, you know, therapy in a way. You know,
and then,
let's be real.
You go to the lunchbox place. Is that what it's called?
Box lunch.
Box lunch. I didn't know I had one even near me, and I was like, well, Greg's going to him, so I must have one. So I looked up, and the closest one was in Flint. So it's about 45 minutes, hour away. So we drove down there, and my girlfriend loves Harry Potter. The kids love Harry Potter. So it was just a great place to go.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting they were the only ones that had that. It was one of the Iron Man, like Mark 85s. And I grabbed it up from there, and I was like, that, you know, just watching other people just changes everything about what you collect. Like,
because you don't know something's cool until you see it. And then you get to make the decision, is that cool for me? You know, to me, every toy is cool. Now, one of the latest trends that is going on right now is these Captain Rex Hot Wheel cars.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, there's.
You mean the 21 of them you should have by now?
I have a few. I think I'm up to 12 right now.
I couldn't find one, dude. I looked.
I've still not found one in the wild. But the crazy thing about it is, USPS got so far behind in the mail, and then all of a sudden, people were finding these things, you know, and they were sending them to me because I was looking for one. The next thing you know, I've got 12 of them. That
it's so funny because you don't open it up and like them any less each time. Like every time, dude. Oh!
Anything that is sent to me. I mean, I keep every letter, every note, everything, and anything that is ever sent to me will never leave my collection. Never.
That's awesome.
It's all in its own spot. None of that will ever leave my collection, because if someone takes the time to write me a letter or send me a postcard or send me a $4 Hot Wheel, that is so special to me. Every single letter, every single package, my wife, she reads, she sees it all. I share it with her. And one of the things that I've decided to do with these Captain Rex cars is I want to put them all in a frame. If I get 21 of them, I'm going to put them all in a shadow box and make a Captain Rex pop art piece. The Hot Wheels cars. I just think it'd look cool.
Dude, you're so creative. Yeah, I was watching you talk about that, and people were like, "That's so cool!" Like,
I mean, what? Let's be real. What else are you going to do with 21? You know, or what? However many Captain Rex Hot Wheels cars.
yeah, that's.
Let's make it art.
It's a mile marker for 2021 too. Like, this is a really cool thing that happened to me. What I thought afterwards, I was like, everyone should have signed the front of them.
Yeah, I really wish. If I'd have known this was going to happen,
yeah,
I would have said, please sign them. And again, I just think that would be so cool for everyone.
It'd be more personal too. On top of it, I mean, you could even have the letters on the side of it on like another like hodgepodge them onto.
That's what I'm gonna do if it gets completed, and even if it doesn't get to 21, I'm still gonna do the same thing with whatever I have.
It's gonna get to 21.
I'm gonna put every single note or letter that came with one in an envelope and put it behind, so it'll all be, you know.
That's really cool. You know, it actually means something to you. That's really cool.
It does. I mean, seriously though, Josh. I mean, I can sit and look, you know, and see things, and it humbles me. It truly does. It just goes to prove that people, they understand it, they get it, that toys are supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be something that brings joy to your heart. It's supposed to refresh your soul, you know. And it's supposed to bring that. I mean, I'm 57 years old, you know. I'm a 57-year-old grandfather. I'm a great grandfather.
Yeah, when you said that yesterday, it caught me off guard. I was like, wait, what? Like, really?
Yeah. I mean, and I've got a YouTube channel, and I don't think I've talked too much about that, but my grandchildren and my great grandchildren and their children, they will always know who I am.
Yeah.
Because
you're genuine. You're not, there's nothing fake. Like, and you can tell just watching, like when I'm sitting in your bathroom, like, I think it's you and me just chilling in the bathroom while you're trying to get the perfect shot. You know what I mean? Because you make it feel that way. Like, and that's what I was wondering also, would you ever do another channel not related to toys or other videos outside of toys? Because, just hear me out, because your personality and like the way that people gravitate, like I could sit down with this guy and have a beer. You know what I mean? Like, we could hang out. Like, you and I have never talked in a video chat, and we talked for almost an hour and a half. Like,
dude, I want to do it. I want to keep doing it. Like, we might start a weekly Skype call or something. We can just sit here and paint figures and talk. You know,
I do it every day, man.
I mean, you know,
I think. Hear me out. I think Urban Explorer, because you kind of already do that when you do your photography.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, I can't predict how the toy channel. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. I mean, I truthfully don't.
It's only going to get bigger, man. But I don't even know if you have enough time to do another channel, first of all. But if you did,
well, and that's sort of the reason why that I'm started to put in like the photography videos. I'm putting in the I'm working on my heavy Mandalorian helmet. I'm doing videos on, you know, customizing that Bat Raptor. So I'm trying to put more things out there other than toys. I mean, if everything goes right, I'm gonna have a 3D printer in the next couple of months.
That's big.
And because I want to do cosplay, I am addicted to cosplay, and I don't know. This is my EVA foam heavy Mandalorian helmet that I made.
That looks so good.
All foam. So
foam crafting is so hard, so hard. Like,
dude, and look,
you think like this toy stuff, like I do a great job. I can't do foam crafting. Like, yeah.
And you know, the funny part about this, and I know this is probably going to sound weird, if it wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't be doing that. I mean, that's real. You know, I mean, I wanted to. I mean, you can't do the things you want to do. What do? You find something else. And I started thinking about cosplay, and you know, I've got helmets. I got trooper helmets and stuff like that. I've got my Boba Fett helmet. Then I just did a repaint, which I posted pictures on Instagram for that because honestly, I didn't know how it was going to turn out. Is I repainted the prototype Boba Fett helmet into the Death Watch colors. It's amazing.
I don't know if I saw that.
And
I didn't know that you.
I didn't do a video on it. I was just posting progress pictures, you know, taping and this and that, because you know as well as I do, when you're doing a project, it's hard to sit down and do it start to finish in one day. You know? And
it's hard to record everything. Like, I like to be kind of okay at something before I record it. Like, I don't want people to like watch me.
That is the 4th generation of that helmet. I messed it up 4 times. So, but 2021, you know, I fully expected us to have conventions and things like that. And, you know, we still may, I don't know, but parts of me is I'm wanting to do some cosplay. So,
it's
progressive.
For you, I think it was one of the greatest experiences that I had in life was having just the kids in general be excited to see their favorite character come to life. And they want to come up and take a picture with you. And I have those pictures saved still of me, like, and then I've met like the parents, and then we still interact on Instagram or through Facebook.
Yeah.
And, like,
well, I'm a huge Heavy Mandalorian fan. I love the Heavy Mandalorian. To me, that is like the best Mandalorian ever. He's got the coolest helmet. Just saying. That is the main character that I truly would love to portray.
He blew up on the spot also. Like, when he came out, everyone was like, what? Like,
I mean, he's got a big weapon. I mean, there's belt. But I've had a lot of people, when I first started talking about doing cosplay, I've had a lot of people tell me that I need to do old man Captain Rags because I'm bald headed.
You got the beard.
I could just do the white beard.
Yep.
And got simplistic armor. There's nothing really. So that's an option, but
I like heavy, man. I think you should do heavy.
Heavy is just. I think going back to your previous question about my channel, it could very well go that route. It could taper off from toys and focus more on, especially if I get a 3D printer and printing the parts. Then you got to finish the parts and you got to prep them. You got to paint them. There's so much work.
So much.
Create a costume. I had a very lucky opportunity back in 2000. Was it 2000? No, it wasn't 2006. 2016, maybe. Had an opportunity to go to Dragon Con, which is down in Atlanta, Georgia, which is 100% cosplay.
Yeah.
Got my picture with Stan Lee. You know, it was awesome. But I've done a lot. I think
I've seen that picture before.
Yeah, it's me and my brothers. But I had an opportunity to do a lot of cosplay photography during that, 3 days. And I met a lot of phenomenal people that were into cosplay, and that sort of planted the bug, but it didn't really go into fruition. But to see the amount of work that, what you think is a very simple costume is still so complex that they work on this thing for a whole year.
Yeah.
Every day, hours to get ready for one weekend.
And then someone's like, "Oh, are you doing that for Halloween?" And you're just like,
So I don't know. I'm on 2021 is just getting started. I've already got my Heavy Mandalorian 3D printed helmet. I've already started the Bondo process on that to get rid of the lines. It's a lot of sanding, a lot of repeat. I can't even imagine doing a full armor set. There's a YouTuber, Frankly Built. He's in the UK. He done a full Iron Man 3D print. And his finishes are just like glass. I mean, it's insane.
There are so many talented like prop and costume makers out there. It's insane. Like
It is.
yeah,
I mean,
like,
and that's sort of the reason why the Mimpo masks and all the helmets and stuff I'm doing with the EVA foam is I wanted to start there to see what I could, I don't know, create. But then if you start looking at groups like the 501st, Mandalorian Mercs, you know, this just a massive amount of rules.
yeah.
You know, and it goes back to what you were saying earlier about the photography thing, you know, for toy photography and how people can just get shattered so easily because of you're not perfect. And I sort of wish there was more of that in the cosplay community, more of it's okay if you're not canon correct. It's okay if your color is slightly off.
That's why I got out of it mainly. Just everything we were doing had to be screen accurate. So like the days I was excited for were the days we had no promotional stuff, nothing to do, like, and we could just be ourselves and do whatever character we want to do, and that was the funnest of times.
Well, and it's funny too because when I do my review videos, it's on figures that I like.
It's usually after a toy hunt though too. You know, it's not like.
Well, what I've started doing in 2021, if I find like I'll use this for an example. If I find something cool like the Superman Red Sun, I found it on a toy hunt the very next day. I think this is cool. I'm gonna do a review on it. So that's what I'm trying to do. It's like if you see me find something and I think it's really, really cool, that I want to try to do a review video of it.
Yeah, when's that video coming out, man?
The Red Sun one?
Yeah.
It's
You're working on
no, it's this week. You've already seen it by now.
Oh, okay.
That's the figure that the mishap happened in.
Oh no. Dang.
Yeah, that's the figure that actually, you know, yeah.
Oh man, I appreciate you coming by, man.
Dude, I had a ball.
I love your channel. I know it's probably a two-parter. I don't know. It's pretty long. I'll edit some stuff, like all my cosplay talk out. But yeah, I love your channel, man. I'm glad we had a chance to this. Anytime I've reached out to you and had a question about photography, you've always been helpful.
Yeah.
Most helpful tip was a couple of years ago, or maybe a year or two ago. You said something along the lines of, if you drop something, pick it up right away. Don't wait till you're done after the shot. Get it now. And then like that day I went out and I dropped something. I was like, no.
I remember that. It was, I think you dropped it in the leaves or something.
Yeah.
These little things, they just quick. Now, you might be able to find that pretty quick, but
I've lost both of those before in outside. So but I appreciate it, man. I'd love to do it again anytime you want to. Like, if you have something coming up and you want to push it, or you want to show it off, or you're excited about it, I like, you know, anything you want.
I mean, we can. I mean, like I said, I mean, first and foremost, Josh, thank you so much for having me on your channel.
Thank you.
Like I told you earlier, I have so much respect for your skills when it comes to customization of figures. You make it look too easy.
It's not.
I'm literally, like I said, you know, earlier when the way you create things, like with the Mountain Troopers, was just amazing. I truly appreciate what you bring to the community to show you don't have to leave it white. You can do whatever you want with it. You know, you can be creative. But again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was an honor to be on your channel. And,
thank you.
You know, we're still trying to get the join the movement. You know, 21K in 2021.
We need merch, man.
I've got a Teespring store. We'll
drop that in the description too. Yes.
It's, you know, Teespring, Greg Cook Photography. It's all that stuff is usually in the when you have to click show more.
Okay, yeah.
That's one bad thing about the videos is like you don't see everything unless you hit the show more. I wish that would be default, but
Yeah, just for everybody.
but yeah, dude. Seriously though, thank you. And I will say this: your toys refreshes my soul.